Hi, friends. It's Kathy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today's reading is going to choose one of three piles, so it is a pick a pile reading. And we're going to be looking at different aspects of your life as far as two cards for each area of concern. Okay, so we're going to see what's coming in your career, finances, love life, and finally, just generally what you need to be aware of. Okay. So I try that today because this is a good opportunity for people who like to have maybe a general. This could be used as a general spread. So we're going to pull just two cards for each area. And let's delve in. Before we get started, I'm going to pull three oracle cards for the piles. The first pile is this card, and this will be clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. Right? Another card for pile two is going to be this one. Cancel, clear, delete. Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. And finally, for pile three, what do we have here? All right, let's pull this one. Law of attraction. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. All right, so, my friends, those are the three oracle cards. Beautiful deck, isn't it? I love it's our Angel Therapy Oracle cards by Doreen Richard. All right, my friends. So, if this sounds like something that you are interested in, then I would really encourage you to stay tuned and go into the description box below put the timestamp on which pile is speaking to you right now. Those these are kind of crooked, aren't they? We have clear yourself, cancel, clear, delete, which is very similar. Law of attraction. Okay, so we're going to get started. And as I mentioned, pause the video. And when you're ready, just pick pile one, pile two, pile three, go to the timestamp below, listen to the reading. If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. We don't want to do that. Listen to the other piles. If that sounds like something, maybe there's something else here that you're not aware of that you need to know. Okay, as well, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing or clicking on the like button and leave me a comment if you want to know, ask a question or know any more information. I'd be happy to answer you. Okay, my friends, let's get started and go into this general reading and find out what's going on in different areas of your life coming up. With pile one, if you chose clear yourself, then this is your reading coming up, a general reading we're going to do in different areas. All right, let's just see what we have going on here. Oh my, the cards are sliding. Okay, let's see what I can get here. Okay, we're going to lay down some cards for those areas and we're going to read them. The time frame is relatively within the next up to 6 months. Okay, let's see what's happening in those areas of your life. First is our career finances for pile one. Hang on. I have a card that's popped out, so I'll have to use it. Let me just show you. First card is the Page of Pentacles. All right. And what else do we have here? This down so you can see this a little better. I know there's a huge glare here. These cards are very gilded, kind of gold foil on them. We have the two in the reverse, two of pentacles, fitting for a job. So what I'm getting right away is somebody is starting a new career path, a new job, a new um, studies, perhaps if you are not yet in your career field. It's speaking to me that this is going to be up and coming, an extremely busy time for you in this new job, new career. And you're starting, maybe starting potentially at the bottom, as we know, financially. Maybe you're not going to be receiving top salary, but that's okay. It looks like you're going to try to find a balance, a good balance between home life and work life. But at the same time, at first, it's going to be really difficult. Okay. There won't be that balance first. You may need to reach out to somebody in the organization to help you with this. There's perhaps a second person you can reach out to on that. There's also a sense that for with regards to money, this isn't a new job situation or a new endeavor to make money. There seems to be this negative energy around how you spend, how you're dealing with your money, okay, your finances. I feel like a lot of you have dropped the ball and you have not learned anything. You need to spend some time reflecting on your spending habits. There's could even be a young person that you're aware of. Maybe it's you, could be a friend, the page, who is really wanting to start something new, okay? But they don't have the resources, okay? That I don't know if that's something you're going to help them with, but there's also that effort is they're wanting to put out the effort, but they just don't have the money to do it, whether it's education, schooling, they're looking at or even buying, purchasing something, but this is to do with your finances and career. Well, finances, I guess that would apply. So they are definitely experiencing problems right now with their money. Let's pull one card to see overall how that will go for you or them. Let me see here. I'm just going to finish shuffling. And we have the tower in reverse, which, to be perfectly honest, is how you want to see the tower. So it tells me um, that this help, it's more about the help situation, finding help. It's it's like I want to say this situation won't be as dire as it could be. In other words, if that person is experiencing or you're experiencing financial hardship right now, it's not as bad as what it seems. It's going to get better, is what I'm trying to say. If this is referring to a job or a new project or a new situation, a new endeavor, education, and things start off bad, and maybe you decide to walk away. That's what I like to see with the tower reversed is telling me that you dodged a bullet. In other words, it's a good thing, it's a blessing in disguise. Even if it looks like a hardship, it tells me that this is actually a good thing to do. For those of you that are going to be overburdened in your new job, maybe, or a new, maybe you're starting a business, this could tell us that you it's at the beginning, okay? But what's going to happen? It's going to be difficult at the beginning. And as I say, you're not going to have a lot of money at the start, and you're not going to have a lot of time to do anything. I mean, that would go hand in hand with any new endeavor in a career or a business. But it's a good thing. It means slow and steady wins the race, okay? So persevere, okay? Even if things go badly, persevere. That's what I'm hearing. All right. Stick with it, my friends. Okay. Oops, let's put that up there. Now we're going to look at your love life. Even if you're in a relationship, how are things going? Let's pull two cards and one more over. All right, let's see how that's going for you. All right, we have the first card is the Queen of Swords in the reverse. And our next card is the Hierophant upright. So for those of you that have a woman in your life or a female energy, it could be a man that they have carrying that energy. There's somebody who is highly difficult to deal with in the relationship. There's somebody that is not willing to um, compromise. Okay, they're being very difficult, very critical, very hard to get out, get I want to say they're being a bitch. Okay, that's the only word I can use to describe how they're behaving. And this is the person in your relationship, your love life, whether it is a woman that this is a man listening to this, or a woman that you're with in a love romantic situation, or it could be a man who is giving off this type of energy requires, in order to deal with them, you're going to need to seek out professional help with this situation. Okay. There's no other way around it. I can pull another card to see how it's going to end up. But in order to deal with this person, you're going to have to look for uh, you're gonna have to look for the professional help, maybe therapy, maybe a counselor, mentor, somebody, okay? There's also, for some of you, it's talking about this person in a way where they themselves, again, it's a negative scenario where they're looking at you and they think they're better than you are. Like perhaps they're showing their true colors that maybe they think of themselves, a little more egotistically. I would say they're also somebody who's very cutting with their tongue. In other words, like critical, right? They're bitter and they're critical and they're nasty. And they're the ones that are, well, they need the help, but your relationship needs the help because it is two people in this relationship. For those of you that are marrying somebody like this, let's see. Well, first of all, it appears like it's probably telling you you might want to look a little further to see if that's the direction you want to go. Let me see before you entangle yourself with someone like that. I feel like you're probably more of a conservative type of person, maybe a little more traditional, set in your ways, and this person is just impossible to deal with, okay, in your romantic life. And if you're just dating somebody, doesn't look good, all right? Unless you can live with someone like that, I would highly recommend you might want to think twice, okay? So let's look at the outcome of that and see where it could possibly go. So what it shows me, the Two of Swords in the upright, is you need to make a decision. It's not actually showing us how it's going to go. In fact, I'd go so far as to say right now you're trying to ignore the situation because you don't want to deal with it. You know deep down, you've had the red flags, you know what the problem is. Maybe it's time to take off that blindfold and make a choice, okay? For those of you that perhaps you're making a choice between two individuals, there's this person who, again, is showing as very negative, but then the Hierophant, too, can be somebody who is extremely authoritative in how they come across. They can be kind of bossy. They can also think that they're better than other people. They've got themselves kind of on a high platform. So if this is a choice you have to make between two people, I don't really feel that's for a lot of you. I feel it's more about whether you just want to be with this person or not. Okay. And again, you would need professional help. The Two of Swords, it could also be talking about, do you really want to marry this person? If for those of you who are thinking about, either living together or getting married, you might want to think twice. And it looks like you've already been doing that and you know that that's maybe not the way you want to go. But again, this is what happens when we ignore situations and we don't deal with them. So you have to take that blindfold off and make your choice. Otherwise, your life is going to be very difficult, my friends. Okay? That's your love life. Now, let us look at, I'm going to move these over here, running out of my space. What is a general situation or what you need to be aware of at this time? Let's just pull two cards and then a third card. We'll see. What is it your guides and everybody want you to be aware of at this point? All right. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Nine of Wands upright. Okay. This is basically, and you know what, I'm going to pull a third card because I prefer that, as you know, if you've been following this channel, you'll know I like doing it in threes. Oh, that's not very straight. And finally, we have the Age of Cups in reverse. So this is definitely a situation you need to be aware of at this time, pile one. And what it is, it's been going on for perhaps a long time, and you've put a lot of effort into it. Now, this is very general because it is a general reading. There aren't specifics, but it is a situation in your life that you have maybe not put a lot of, I want to say you've put a lot of, not time, your passion into it. You've put a lot of effort when it comes to the excitement of this situation, as far as what it is, whether this is a relationship, a job, whatever the case is, maybe health or, whatever's going on. And I feel like it's more about you, this situation, because there isn't showing a court card. You're stuck. You're stuck in a situation you should walk away from, whatever this situation happens to be. But I feel like you haven't spent enough time saving up for it, putting away for the rainy day so that you can walk away. I think you've got yourself cornered into a situation here, and you're too exhausted and you've put too much time and energy into it that you just don't want that. You just don't want to let it go because as I say, you've cornered yourself with this situation, pile one. So whatever this is related to, it's between two reverse cards that are showing me that you're emotionally, I feel defeated. You've kind of you're stuck, and you're stuck here too because this is the money card and the resources. You can't even make yourself get out of this, whether it's a job or a relationship, because you've got yourself backed into a corner. But let's see what advice they can tell you. What advice can you offer with this situation? The King of Pentacles. Well, you know what I'm going to say to you. There could be somebody, if this is related to a job, there could be the boss that you could go to and try to figure out what you can do. Maybe there's something else here that you can ask them about for their help. There's also the king can also represent a family member, a friend, somebody you trust who maybe this is about the money. Perhaps you could then borrow some money from them, or they can help you out financially or with resources to get yourself out of this situation. All right. Okay, pile one. I hope some of this made sense for you. It's asking you to clear yourself. Overall, that's the energy we're looking at in this particular reading, pile one, because there's been some toxic energies that have been absorbed here in your life right now. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now. Hi, pile two. If you chose the Cancel, Clear, Delete card, this is your reading. So let me lay down the cards. Going to do for our first reading is about your career and or finances. Second, romance or love life. And then finally, the third is going to be just a general as to what do you need to be aware of at this time. All right, let's have a look into your career and finances. This is what they consider an all-around general reading, which is useful when your querent, your client, does not even have a question, or maybe they just want to look at certain areas of their life. All right. So first off, let's look at the career finances for you, pile two. The Five of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Queen of Cups upright. Interesting, interesting, interesting. There's somebody in your work situation, for some of you, that I feel like you're working towards forgiving them. There's been a situation gone on in your career. Maybe let's find out what they did or what is caused this forgiveness or what have you. Let's pull another card. Okay, Seven of Wands. All right. I feel like well, either this is depending on the scenario, because there's different scenarios. To me, it feels like it's constantly, you're always trying to defend yourself with them. Everything you do at work, everything you say, your career, whether this is the boss, and you've always had this in the past, maybe, or you still have it, where you're always constantly feel like you're at war with them on everything you do. You're always trying to prove yourself to them. And somehow things have blown up in some way. And at this point, you're trying very hard to move on in some fashion, whether it's just trying to let go of how you feel about this person, mentally, emotionally, or whether you're physically moving away from this person. This is entirely the choice of yours. But this feels like this is the scenario that's been going on, career or work situation. Now, financially, it does not show financial cards. It seems to me that this could be representing you, for most of you in this reading, where you're very happy spending the money that makes you feel good. Is how I want to say. You spend your money with your emotions, okay? Um, you like I feel like in the past it's all about the emotions here. You spent some money where you shouldn't have. There's this regret and now you're trying to move past it. Maybe it was a big purchase, a small purchase. So I feel like your financial situation is kind of, you have to fight for every nickel and dime you have because I feel strongly that you are somebody who spends to have emotional fulfillment. For some of you, not everybody. For some of you, this in relation to your money, it's like that's what gives you your happiness. And so because of that, you're probably constantly in a state of financial, yeah, well, you're broke probably most of the time, right? And you feel like you're trying to, when I see this, when it comes to money, it's like you're constantly living paycheck to paycheck. You're fighting just to keep your head above the water, okay? You're trying to change this, I want to say, because the five in reverse shows me that you didn't like it. You don't like what you do. So I feel like there's in the past you might have been trying to change that situation. Okay, now let me see where it's headed. Oh, let's see. I don't know. We have to see what cards. The Seven of Cups. Again, a Cups card in reverse. So I feel like you're going to have to pick one thing and one thing only, whether this is a job situation that you need to maybe go into another area because maybe this person, you just can't work with them. I don't know. Maybe it's just too difficult a situation. Um, that it's headed in the direction where you're going to make a decision. There's also another scenario playing out, I'm seeing. I have a feeling that with this person, for some of you, this is pretty specific, you felt like maybe you had this person on a pedestal, whether it's the boss, and I feel like they didn't live up to your expectations. And now you're seeing the real, how things are. You're seeing reality. It's coming through. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. you're going to actually see things for what they are, is what it's telling me. Up to this point, maybe you had been constantly defending this person to other people. No, they're not as bad as what you think, right? In the workplace. Yeah, perhaps they're not as perhaps nice as what you're thinking. There's something they did in the past, this person, this queen, that's caused a lot of problems in the workplace. And now I feel like perhaps you're starting to see the reality of the situation, or you will be. It's coming up in the next 6 months. So this is what it's telling me, is that this person is has burdened you down in some way in your workspace because of this constant defending, this constant defending. If this is about the money situation, it tells me you're going to only be able to pick one thing you really like. You're going to have to reduce the amount that you are spending on luxury items that make you happy, or on items that you give you pleasure. You can see all of them. I know it's upside down and reversed, but there's all these cups full of some bad things, but some good things. But you're not as well off as you might have thought you were, and so it's going to bite you in the ass if you don't smarten up. So, my dears, that's the financial career situation. Now let's look at your love life, whether you're in a relationship or not, or you maybe are dating. Let's see what's going to happen. Just two cards, though. What do you need to know right now? I have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, we have the Knight. This is the Knight of Swords, of course, but he is in the reverse. So whoever you're with, I would honestly say that they are a bit of, when it comes to their money or help in any way for you, it's one-sided. I feel like you're the one doing all the work. You're the one doing all the Oh, it's tiring. This is how it feels in your relationship. This person is actually really holding you back. I want to say they could even be very verbally abusive to you. Um, and this is not a good situation, because when the knight is, or any of the court cards are in reverse, it's a very negative connotation of that card. So, but it's in relation to this. And this is about a lack of generosity. They are not helpful. They are not providing you really what it appears to be. They are not good fit in that respect. I feel like you're the one that's carrying the load for the most part. Maybe they're not willing to take responsibility for the relationship if there's problems. And they're saying, "Well, I don't have any problem with it. It's all about you, you know." And that tells me that's an abusive um, lack of responsibility. It's almost not kind of narcissistic. They don't want to, or they're gaslighting even, where they're saying, it's I'm fine, everything's fine. You're the one crazy one, right? You get that. So it's like as if you're seeing something and they're telling you, no, that's not the truth. They won't take responsibility for their actions. Okay, they could be bullying you about how you're normally a very kind-hearted person, I'm feeling, for most of you. So cancel, clear, delete. Yeah, it's like anything that brings you down in negative energy in the relationship, you need to get rid of. Whether it's physically or mentally get rid of, like if you don't actually physically get rid of the person, you need to deal with the situation in some fashion. They need to understand that you're not a pushover, all right? I feel like for the most part, that's what this is telling me. Now, where's it headed if as all things stay the same, right? Well, it's very possible you're going to break up. Two cups in reverse. It's not going to work. Whether you walk or they walk, there's only so much that a person can stand, right? So I highly recommend that you have to deal with the situation in some fashion, and your relationship is just not going to work. Otherwise, it'll cause resentment, okay? All right, my friends, now let's finally look at our last one, which is a general. What do you need to know at this time, eh? What do we need to know? Let's see here. Overall. pull three cards. What do we need to know overall? We have the Sun in reverse. Ooh, we have the Judgment in reverse. Oh gosh, the Fool in reverse. So now we have three major arcana cards all in reverse. And this is what your guides want you to know. And what is it telling you? It's dealing with negativity. The Sun is in the reverse. And when it is, it's telling you there's a lot of negative emotion and energies and thinking going on here. Uh, you feel like this is a wake up call. You're not paying attention to it. You need to pay attention to this and don't make any foolish don't take any foolish actions in whatever endeavor you're working on right now. Let us see overall. I feel this is just overall your life at this moment. It's not necessarily in one area. It's the whole thing. This negative thinking is causing you to miss out on some opportunities, okay? Because the Fool is in reverse and you don't want your I want to say foolish pride or whatever the reason is you're having this negative thinking. Maybe it's just past thinking that, things haven't gone well for me. Why should it change? We get that. You need to change that around, my friends, because you're going to, as I said, you're going to miss out on a lot of good opportunities. And it is a major arcana, so it's important that you need to pay attention to this pile too. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it. It's showing me there is foolishness because it's in reverse. And it's going to hold you back from a new beginning in some way, something new in your life that will get started, like you need to break away from, okay? So this negative thinking is really, really dragging you down, my friend. All right, so let it go. Please try to work on that. And I mean, it tells you right here, cancel, clear, delete. Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. And it does. I'm here to tell you, I've seen thoughts make an energy bubble. This bubble is real. Right. It's outside of our bodies. It's released out of our mind. And if it's negative, now that you've sent that out into the universe, and it's going to affect things going forward. So please try to be more um, aware of your thoughts and your negative thinking. Take the extra minute before you voice something and take a few seconds before you automatically default to the negative thinking. All right, pile two. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now. Hi, pile three. If you chose the Law of Attraction card, then this is your reading. We're going to look first at your career and or finances, then your romantic life, and then finally a general few cards just to see what you need to be aware of overall at this time. All right, let's go here, my friends. Let us have a look here. Okay, we have upright, Seven of Wands. That's the first card about the career and finances and or what's next. Okay, and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Oh my goodness, yeah. So I would say that in the recent past or still, you've gone through a very financially difficult time and you've had to work for everything you've ever earned. Like you are not even you just feel like you can't get ahead. And you potentially could have hit rock bottom, whereby you may even have, for some people, may have claimed bankruptcy. Maybe you are just that you're at the all-time low financially or in your career. Okay. I feel like you're burnt out. There's this burnout. Some of you might have actually been on stress leave from work. There could be all those situations, or maybe you are at this time. But let's see what's going to happen going forward because it looks better. The Ten of Swords in reverse, you want to see. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. Interesting. Skipped right up there. So my feeling is it's still moving along the same path as far as a job is concerned, but it's going to get better. It's not going to get hugely better. I would say it's going to progress a little bit better. Okay. These things take time, whether it's your financial situation and or your career. I feel like you might come to the point where it's going, like I say, it's going to improve because the Ten of Swords is in reverse. But because it's you were at such an all-time low in this situation, it's possible that yeah, it's only going to be small increments. And what I'm getting from this is what I'm hearing. This is also in reference to people's investments. This is what I'm hearing, okay? For those of you that have really got excited in the past or recently about your investments, and then everything tanked or whatever you had your one stock or your one place that you were really excited about, and this is very specific, it tanked, but it's starting to slowly come back because of the nine. But I feel you'll stick with it. It's like you will keep progressing. So however this applies to you in your financial life or your career, it's a slow progression, but you will continue persevering. All right. I feel like you're going to stick it out till the end. The nine is the end card. And maybe at some point, if that's an investment situation, you might decide to get rid of it. But for now, going forward in the next while, I feel like you would hang on. In whatever situation this plays itself, that's what it tells me, all right, about it. Let's see. And like I say, that can be a job situation. Maybe you've been in this job and things have just been horrible. You're kind of at the rock bottom, you figure you're going to get fired, whatever the scenario is. But it looks like you're still going to be there or at least employed. But it's not like I don't feel like if there is a raise coming for you, pile of three, it's a very small raise. Okay. I also want to say, let me go back to that because I'm getting some more information here. So for those of you that were working very hard, whether you wanted to get, and this is all crooked, I'm sorry, to get a project going. There's some sort of project for some of you at the workspace that you were really excited about and you put a lot of time and effort into it. You've had to basically fight for it with everybody in the organization to get it going. And then it's possible that it didn't do well. Okay. And I don't mean that you didn't do it well. What I mean is it's maybe possible that they didn't want you um, to do that project or carry forward in that project in your career. So I feel like it'll come back. They're going to pick it up again. I feel like it's just that for now, um, things will come back. It's just going to be a slow progression. All right. Again, slow progression, but it will come back. Let's look at your love life, romance, dating. If you're in a relationship, out of a relationship, what's going on here? Just general. So if it doesn't fit, don't make it. We have the Hierophant and we have the Fool in reverse. Ooh. Now, far be it for me to ever tell somebody not to get married. But if somebody asked me that direct question, I would say maybe wait. Don't jump in right away. Get some advice. That's what I would say. If it was a relationship, marriage situation, a question. But what it's also telling me is this particular relationship you're in, this romantic situation, requires, I want to say, well, number one, there's two scenarios here. One is that their religion could be a factor here, okay, in holding back moving forward. Like if you are in a point in this relationship where you want things to progress, I feel like this is the reason why potentially things are not going forward, that there's something that you are not compatible about with respect to this, whether it's a religion, their belief system, in some way, their traditions, their values. They are probably a little more conservative, maybe, and this is affecting your relationship moving forward. Okay. Do not discount that because this is important to them. You do not want to make a mistake of poo-pooing this situation to them because it means something to them. It's their values and ethics. It's very important. You may not be on the same page together in that respect. Maybe in this case, some of you need professional help or a therapist or a counselor. Let's see how it's going to play out. If nothing changes, of course, what's going to happen for you in this relationship. 8 of Wands, upright. Okay, there's going to be a big change coming in some fashion. So if you do nothing, let's see what it is. Well, there's the three of cups in reverse. So I feel like the change is actually a negative. So if you don't do something about this situation, this relationship, change very quickly and you won't even be friends. There won't even be a celebration for those of you getting married. It's like this is like I want to say this is a deal breaker. It's one of those things, it's like a deal breaker, okay? Because of the fact it's two major arcana cards and they're both saying, look, don't do anything foolish. Don't take this seriously. Don't just think that this isn't important. If it's important to your partner, it should be important to you. Is because if it's something that is with their values, their ethics, their beliefs, remember, do not allow yourself to um, whether you're critical or make fun or in some fashion, okay? Or if you're the one, this is what they're doing to you. You do not allow that to happen, okay? So if it's important to you, that could be a deal breaker for some people. Like, for example, their belief system is very important to them, whether it is their religious system beliefs or maybe it's their family and how they were brought up and their ethics and how they see things in this world. It is important, and that is you need to be on the same page. In fact, look at this. It talks about relationships, law of attraction. And activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So that's what's happening. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll break up, but it's certainly going to cause a lot of unnecessary pain. Okay. It also could be that maybe this person isn't the one you should be attracted to. Maybe that law of attraction is working the other way. Maybe you haven't attracted the one that you need to be with, or they haven't. Um, and what's happening is because of that, you're becoming more sensitive to the differences, or they are. Okay. So that's the romance relationship. Let's now look at a general. What do you need to know right now, my friends? What is it your guides want you to know? Pile 3 at this time. And I usually pull 3 cards. I was just doing 2 for those and an outcome. So we have the 8 Pentacles upright, Page of Cups, right. What is it you need to know? And finally, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So what it's telling me, like what I'm feeling, is that this putting all your effort and focus, whether it's into working or something that takes you away from your family and your children, if you have children, it might give you the money you need but it's not going to allow you to have that quality time, as we know, right? Family is the most important thing. There needs to be a balance here. It looks like money in this situation is showing up for this pile three generally. So what it's telling me is that you are spending too much time being concerned with what we have here on earth, our resources, our money, of the physical body. It's like you need to be more in tune with your inner child. For some of you, you need to spend more time with the family, the kids. You need to be more in your own inner child, doing the things you enjoy and having fun. All work and no play. This is what I'm hearing. All work, no play, you know, makes for a dull person. We know that. So it's reminding you that you need to spend more time doing the enjoyment things. The page in the upright is that sweet, whether it's spend more time with young people, your children, your grandchildren, and or your inner child, doing fun, creative things that make you happy. That's what you need to do, because what's going to happen if you don't, you're going to come to the end of your life and it was all for nothing, right? It was all about the money. And when we can't take the money with us, this is what I'm hearing. You can't take the money with you when you die. We know that. I guess you could put it in the coffin if you were desperate, but you can't take it with you. Life is not about these things, okay? So somebody's been spending too much time working, not enough time with their family. They need to be, pot three, you need to be more in tune on a general level with having more fun in your life, paying more attention to the things that make you happy, that used to make you happy maybe when you were younger, and less about working and trying to be. I keep hearing this expression in my mind. It's like he who has the most money when he dies wins. Well, no, it's not, right? So pay attention to this. And I'm going to leave that with you, pile three. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.